me up, you know. People are just happy there's somebody who's willing to work, right? And somebody who's willing to work and does a good job, like, yeah, I'll go get that guy. You know what I mean? You know, like, they don't mind. Trust me, having to do this is kind of humbling. Like, not in a, oh, I'm so grateful, blah, 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 whatever. But, like, it's humbling in the sense that, you know, you realize that relying on stuff is not easy. You know, like, you put a lot of faith in a vehicle, you really do. And I have the kind of devil's rejects kind of approach to things where I keep my expectations low so I'm never disappointed. I love that line. It's a great life philosophy, it really is. It's like I'm the type of guy that would buy a brand new vehicle, and by the time I get it to the driveway, the transmission will blow out the bottom of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the Murphy's Law. And it's not because I abuse my vehicles or anything. If anything, I get probably further out of my vehicles than most people do because I don't drive them hard. You know, I don't speed, I don't tramp on the gas, jam on the brakes, you know, like, I do like what they call eco driving, right? So, and, but things only last so long. So to buy another $500 Wonder Time Bomb, it's just $500 less I could put towards something better. But that said, I bought a $6,200 Time Bomb, so there's no guarantee at any price range, right? That's why, like, I have no faith in vehicles whatsoever. There's no such thing as a reliable vehicle. Just when's it going to leave you somewhere? Newer vehicles, well maintained, are less likely to leave you somewhere. But my mom bought a brand new car, God rest her, way back when, and the brand doesn't matter. The brand doesn't matter. And it had all kinds of recalls, all kinds of transmission problems. My mom bought the Dodge K car, right? And, or sorry, the Dodge Shadow, the 4-door K car. Yeah. And yeah, had transmission recalls on it the first year. She had all kinds of problems with that thing. So he said, oh yeah, well, that's because it's a Dodge. Well, my aunt bought a Mitsubishi or a Hyundai. You know, top-notch, reliable cars. Head gasket issues. You know, and it's just, and brand new. She's like, I'm never buying a brand new vehicle again. You know, the thing was, you know, under warranty, and that's a Japanese vehicle. You know what I mean? Which are noted for, like, Time Bomb reliability, and they are. But it's just sometimes luck of the draw. The car that was built on the Monday or the Friday, and then there's just a plain old Murphy strikes, right? So, like I say, the only difference between a new vehicle and an old vehicle is an old vehicle is a Time Bomb, and a new vehicle is a Time Bomb with a warranty, right? But I can't afford the warranty part, you know? Like, I can't afford the $600 to $1,000 a month payments for a car. That's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? I used to think 160 bucks a month for a vehicle was ridiculous. You know what I mean? But that's back when people were making $5 an hour, like when I was making $5 an hour. But even at that, it was still less ridiculous than what it is today. Like, you're paying at least 4 times the price for a vehicle now than what you were in the 90s with adjusting for inflation. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And everybody's answer is, well, just offshore it, just offshore it. A lot of our problems are like with the EV thing. I don't want to get too far into that, but like, well, we can get these $12,000 EVs from China. Yeah, till they conquer the market, and then they're going to go up to 80 grand. That's what they do. That's what Amazon has done. That's what Walmart's done. Is what they do is they come in, the investor class basically bankrolls the company to undercut everybody. So they take losses, say, for the first decade, right? And then after that, when they put all their competition out of work, then they can up the prices, and then but they got no competition, so they can charge whatever they want. You know what I mean? You see it in the Costco's and the Walmarts and all that. That's exactly what happened, right? Because our competition laws, you know, they're like the whole free market capitalism thing. I've had to give that a rethink. You know what I mean? Like it's It's got a lot of problems. Now, communism obviously doesn't work, and you don't want complete control of the market, but you do need a little bit of protectionism for wages and stuff like that, or else everybody just becomes working class poor, as we see, and everybody loses purchasing power, as we see, right? So people can't buy those brand new vehicles and keep the economy going, because you can't sell a vehicle for a profit. Why? Because everything's subsidized. Why? Because you can't compete with the insourcing and the outsourcing, right? So it takes a while for people to catch on to that there's no free lunch, that you can't just get it cheaper all the time. At some point, you have to pay fair wages, fair value, and then on top of that, let the economy rise and restore purchasing power through higher bank rates. I need oil on my chain. You know, stuff like that. A lot of people, oh no, we need lower bank rates. Well, no, the reason why we've got low interest rates, it's not for the guy buying houses and stuff. It's for the government, like, spending like drunken sailors so that they don't, you know, don't have to pay back as much, but they're not even paying the interest on, you know, the interest on the debt, you know. They can't even make the payment. We're in trouble, you know. So that's why you got to be careful with how you spend your money. And when you get tied to something that's going to suck more money out of you, then I wonder if that guy can get closer to the other guy's bumper. I don't think he's close enough. I never understood that, you know. But what I'm getting at is that a cheap vehicle just keeps you poor. Well, cheap is good. If I can find a $500 vehicle that's as, you know, the super top-notch reliability like my CR-V was, I got lucky on that one. That was the standout. That's why I called it the unicorn, because because it was just, it was a kind of a too good to be true kind of thing. But even it had problems. I mean, the doors would fly open while driving, you know, especially in wintertime, like the doors would freeze, the mechanisms would freeze, and the doors would fly open on me and stuff. It scared the shit out of everybody driving the other way, but oh well. Yeah. I thought it was funny. But you know what I mean? I don't want to drive vehicles any worse than they have to be, you know what I mean? Because, like, you don't get ahead the way you think. You know, like, sometimes you just have to do without and humble yourself, get on the bike. You know? Other than that, it's a nice morning. So, yeah. The headwind's not so fun though. It's not too bad, but oh, there's a big municipal truck. Oh, I got a whiff for some skunker. At least this stuff was starting to pack a bit. Comrade. There we go. Alright, the next big hill's coming. What am I doing for time? Oh, I think it's got grass clippings all over. Yeah, all these spots, that's grass clippings. I should have probably cleaned my camera off from the whippersnipping. Probably scratches too.